Step right up, the show's begun. Let's go. Are you a winner? There can be just one. Find your dream home and get your own deals. Call and pick up the phone. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Around the home, we're taking a ride. Say what? Keys to the door with style and pride. Flip it, buy it, you're in the zone. Let's play the game around the home. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Welcome to Around the Home, the fast-paced real estate showdown where three contestants battle it out for housing glory. I'm your host, the all-seeing off-screen voice guiding this chaotic journey, like a real estate god with a stream deck. From hot takes on home buying to spicy renovation debates, there are earned points for sharp insights and lose them for weak sauce. Let's meet today's panel and see who's ready to close the deal. All right, contestant number one, Cristian, combines 21 years of local knowledge with specialized real estate talent and a heart for service to guide you through one of life's biggest decisions. With clear communication, audience guidance, and market-driven strategies, count on Cris to help you buy or sell with confidence. Your goals, his mission, your win. All right, Cris, what is up? Say hello to people.
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
All right, and now contestant number two, Sam Carchidi, who is off camera. There he is. Sam Carchidi is a licensed real estate agent in PA and New Jersey who brings mortgage expertise and deep local knowledge to help clients navigate buying or selling with confidence. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a second seasoned investor, he offers honest guidance, personal care, and a well-rounded perspective on city, suburban, and shore living. What is up, Sam? Say
What's
hello.
up?
There we go.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? Ready to kick some ass.
And contestant number three, Aaron Hartman is a trusted mortgage consultant with 10 years of experience in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. He specializes in first-time homebuyer programs, down payment assistant, conventional, FHA, and VA loans. Say what's up, Aaron.
Hey, how you doing, everyone? Yanni, thanks for putting this together.
All righty. Now, all right, contestants, let's get this show on the road. Each round, our contestants will debate real estate hot topics, earning or losing points based on strengths of their takes, with one winner crowned at the end. All right, question number one. Should buyers wait for mortgage rates to decrease before purchasing a home? Cris, start us off.
Let's do this. Look, Yanni, we don't know where the bottom is until we're already on our way back up. Okay, who's to say that today's rates aren't going to be the best rates we'll see for the rest of this decade? Why not buy a house now, start building equity while competition is low and sellers are offering concessions, right? If rates do drop, then you can sit back, relax, and refinance while buyers flood the market and outbid each other in a bidding war, driving prices through the roof, okay? If you're ready and able right now, don't try to time the market. Do what's best for you and your situation. Get your keys sooner than later.
All right, Aaron, what do you think on that?
So, yeah, I mean, if it fits your budget, definitely jump right in. Like Cris said, don't know if rates are going to be going back up or down. If the payment fits your budget, keep doing it.
All right, and Sam, what do we think?
Unfortunately, I have to agree with both Cristian and Aaron. I don't think that they should wait on the rate. Historically, rates are at 7%, and they're about that right now. So just waiting rather than buying is just going to prolong the process and less equity for you on the back end.
All right, guys, give yourself a round of applause for the first question of Around the Home. No one died. Congratulations. We can all take a deep breath. I think it's working. Who knows? It probably is. Let's go.
We'll find out later.
Hey, listen, cheers. Cheers to that. All right, question number 2. Sam, you're going to start us off. Should first-time homebuyers avoid the starter home and wait for their forever home?
I would say absolutely not. I myself bought a starter home in 2019. Very happy I did it. This will be a rental for me after I do find that forever home in the next couple years. So I say dive in when you're ready and you have the ability to make the monthly payment. And yeah.
Aaron?
Yeah, I think getting a starter home is great. Like Sam said, live in it for a few years. Average time in a house for most people starting out is 4 to 7 years. So save up another 5% for your dream house, because that's all you need on the next one. And then you can rent the first one out. There's definitely ways to offset your mortgage payment and qualify for that next house. If you need more information, you know where to find me.
Little plug there. Little plug. I like it.
Plug. We might get 2 deduction points on a plug. An early plug. An early plug. An early plug. An early plug. Chris?
Look, I'm a man of the people, for the people, by the people. I appreciate the plug, okay? Go get it, Aaron. Look, Yanni, absolutely not. First-time home buyers should not avoid the starter home and wait for their forever home, okay? Look, most first-time home buyers are between the ages of 25 and 35 years old, okay? All kinds of things are going to change throughout our life.
I think it's higher than that now. It's
family
a lot higher than that.
family dynamics, job loss or relocation, change in personal preferences, lifestyle changes, moving closer to family or away from family, who knows, right? There's so many shifts in a buyer's lifetime. Consumers are buying and selling homes on an average of 7, 8, every 9 years or so, okay? All these things are going to change, right? So don't focus on trying to find the perfect home right out of the gate, okay? Instead, buy a home that offers appreciation, affordable living, and future investment potential.
Sam, you disagree?
I didn't necessarily disagree, but the first-time home buyer is not between 25 and 35 anymore. The average age of the first-time home buyer is now 38, believe it or not. So it's steadily increasing. Homes are becoming more and more unobtainable because of a multitude of things. But yeah, just another reason why
I'm going to have to agree with Sam there. Very good, Sam.
I'm going to have to interject. I'm going to have to interject real quick, Jan. Won't take more than a second.
No, keep going.
The people got to understand here. We're working in different markets. I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. Those folks are over there in the East Coast. So we're working with a little bit of different dynamics and elements when it comes to the market. So while that may be true in their market, I can only speak to what I'm seeing here.
I love it, guys. And that is what we call a market.
They do it bigger in Texas, huh?
You bet your ass. Oh, can I cuss on this channel?
Oh, you can cuss. You can cuss. Great job, guys. All right, so after 2 questions, we have Chris with 10 points, Sam with 12, and Aaron with 11. Oof. You know, are we liking the judge here, or what are we thinking here? Should I deduct my own points?
Judge right now.
Ooh,
I think Judge might be on a payroll, but
all right.
We'll see.
You know what, Chris? That's a -1, and Sam release the files. And Sam, thank you for the compliment. That is also -2. All right. So now the new score: 9, Chris, Sam 10, Aaron 11. All right.
Let's go.
Final question of round 1. Bum bum. Drum roll, everyone. Aaron, you're going to start us off. Is it smarter to rent and invest or buy and build equity right now?
I think it all depends on your lifestyle and your investing goals. It's tough for people to save money, and I think buying a house does force a lot of people to. It's called forced savings. So if you have the ability to buy soon, and start building that equity.
Okay. And Chris, why don't we get you going there?
Sure. I think I slightly agree with Aaron for sure. This is totally a subjective to personal preference, right? If you're experienced and you want risky, fast cash now, consider a flip. Consider other types of investing. But if you want a safe, tried and true asset, consider building equity right now by purchasing a home. Okay. With all its peaks and valleys, the values of the homes are always increasing in the long term, right? Building equity can be the foundation of your investment portfolio. See what I did there?
I got it.
Love it.
How many pillars, Chris?
I'm sorry, what?
How many pound?
How many
pillars?
how
are
many-
we
how many
eating?
pillars?
How many bourbon?
Oh yeah, how many bourbons? Yeah. So we're on slab here, no pillars if you choose the right contractor.
Oh, very
Anyway, I
nice.
think it's probably my turn to answer, so I'm going to go right to it. So I think it all depends on your situation, like both Aaron and Chris said. If you're going to be in a house for at least 5 years, it does make sense to buy. But if you maybe don't know where your job's going to take you in the next couple of years, or if you just have a unique situation, it probably doesn't make sense to buy right away. So it could go both ways. And that's a real estate agent telling you that you don't necessarily need to buy. So.
All right, guys. Wow. Again, round of applause. First segment of Around the Home done. Now,
Around the home.
around
In the
home.
books, baby.
In the books. Now, we're at score-wise. Before we head into the second segment, and before someone's eliminated, where there will be a final showdown between two, we have Chris with 15, Sam 13, and Aaron 14. It's a tight
Right.
battle for the inaugural championship crown. Are you guys ready
I wouldn't have it any different.
Are you guys ready for segment number 2?
Let's do it.
Who wants to start us off? Give me.
I will. I'm behind.
All right, teacher's pet -1. Hopefully you can start us off good. All right. Question number 1 in segment 2. Is flipping homes good for neighborhoods or just gentrification with granite counters?
Flipping homes is great for neighborhoods. I think a house that is neglected and maybe not well taken care of is extremely bad for the neighborhood. So if someone's going in there and investing their time, energy, effort, and resources into making a home, it can not only help the value of your neighbor's home, but it can make the area safer. Obviously, there are some flippers who do a bad job, but as long as they're putting, as long as things are safe, not everyone's asking for high-end finishes. So I think flipping homes is amazing for neighborhoods.
I appreciated the con take on that. So, Aaron, can you want to dive into this question?
Yeah, I mean, it's all going to be based on location and the type of upgrades being done in the house. Like Sam said, the eyesores, definitely bringing them back to life will help with the market. But if you're putting lipstick on a Band-Aid on a lipstick or something like that, whatever the saying is.
Lipstick on a pig.
Lipstick on a pig, yeah. So when stuff's still being hid behind the walls, you're going to have it's not good for the homeowner there, and it's not good for the neighborhood. Run into some poor contractors sometimes. Good luck with that. It's not easy. So you got to find the right one as well.
Chris?
Yeah, I think this depends on who you ask and what the overall goal is, right? I think the big fear is driving home prices up, increased value on property, and thus increased property taxes. And that could be detrimental to some folks who have been living in the area for a long time, and maybe they don't have the capacity to pay for those increased property taxes. On the flip side, transforming a dilapidated property into a beautiful home, that requires paying local contractors for the work, right? So thus the wheel of economics begins. A beautifully renovated home, it attracts responsible homeowners, which in turn creates pride of ownership, right? And attracts more business into the local community. So property values, therefore taxes, they may rise over time, but no one's upset about rising equity. And my advice, use the ripple effect of the broken window fallacy to your advantage.
Love it. Love it. Guys, another great first question, second round. Would you like the score, or would we like the score after the second
No.
question? Perfect.
After the round.
Keep it rolling.
running. Keep it rolling. Question number 5. Chris, we're going right back to you. Is short-term rental investing still a good strategy in 2025?
It can be, if and only if you follow a lucrative plan. Okay, you can't just buy a house and put it up on Airbnb. It just doesn't work anymore. Okay, you're going to lose money. Identify sustainable markets with minimal restrictions and low entry fees. That's the key, right? And then you've got to build a team, especially if it's not a local home, right? I may buy a house in Nashville. I don't live in Nashville. I live in San Antonio. So I've got to have a team of experienced interior designers and cleaners, handymen, lawn care, short-term rental specific photographers, and leverage online tools such as like AirDNA, dynamic pricing, things like that. Most importantly, you've got to stand out among the competition with a unique value add. I think that's super important. If you can't separate yourself from hundreds or even thousands of Airbnbs or VRBOs, then put your money somewhere else.
Love it. That was a great answer, Chris. Aaron, can you follow that up?
That's very well said. Chris, you hit the nail on the head there. Identify the local markets. It is a very specific area that you want to target. Barriers of entry are tough, and I think a lot of the rules are changing within the local areas, like you said, with the local ordinances. So you need to be careful of that. You can get burned very quickly. And yeah, was out in Puerto Rico for a little bit. They had that's popping over there. So you just got to identify the spots that are hot, use the proper tools, and go from there. But it's definitely getting harder and harder in 2025. I'm not the biggest fan of short-term rentals.
Sam?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'm not a huge fan of the short-term rentals. I think you're over-leveraging yourself in your portfolio. If there's let's say a natural disaster or something happens to the area where you happen to have a lot of short-term rentals, I think it could really be catastrophic to your portfolio, because if you're not getting income, like we saw with COVID, I don't think Airbnb repaid their hosts for all the showings or stays that were canceled. So I think it could really over leverage yourself, but it is area specific. So I'm not completely out on it, but I would lean towards no.
Interesting. So I don't know if we're fans of Brian Chesky here in this chat, but we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, another great.
Don't even know who that is.
Founder of Airbnb, just so you know. So anyway,
all right.
Is that a deduction?
You know what? And Chris, for telling me how to score, that's -2 as well. And that is the second question of the second segment. We are going to take a quick break and watch Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. Please enjoy, and we will be back when they find their scores and battle to see who faces off in the final mission. Good luck. Stay tuned. All right, we are back. They're muted. They can't talk. So that's good, because we're going into the final round of segment 2. Now, guys, you're back, and here are the scores. We have Chris with 25, Sam 23, and Aaron 20. Here we go. Final round to get into the showdown. Aaron, you're going to start us off. If a first-time investor had $100,000, what's the best way to start building a portfolio today?
Great question. If I had $100,000 and was starting the process over again as a first-time home buyer, I would look 100% to house hack. House hacking is a great way to start building a rental portfolio. You can get into a very nice home with that $100,000. Put a good chunk of money down. I would actually use just a portion of that and either do a 3.5% down FHA loan or a 5% down conventional loan, since they just changed the guidelines up for that. And then use the rest of the money to either put back into the property. We're talking about buying a multifamily here, 2 to 4 units. And then use the rest for either upgrades to the house or save up for an investment property.
Sam, Chris, no enthusiasm to take it each, so deduction for both of you.
You know, I don't have enthusiasm because I had the same exact answer, unfortunately, because it is the best way to invest $100,000 for the first time. So similar to Aaron, I would put 5% down on the conventional. I would probably buy something where I am putting maybe $25,000 or $50,000 down, and then I'm saving the other $50,000 to do repairs. So that was for my lack of enthusiasm, Jan, because Aaron took the words right out of my mouth.
All right, and Aaron, you get more points because, again, seems like you had the right answer there.
Check it out, Yanni. My lack of enthusiasm comes from just such a beaten down answer. This is what everybody says: buy 2 to 4, live in it, rent out the other 3 units. Come on, like let's
right.
come on, let's get look. It's tried and true, but let's get with the times here. Look, that's a fantastic way to do it, right? That's not the only way you can do it, but to their point there, if a person is experienced, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You already know what to do with that $100,000. If you're inexperienced, use the 4 pillars of wealth in real estate. Okay, buy a great home, whether it's a 2 to 4 or something else, co-living, whatever you want. Rent it out. Enjoy a 3 to 4% annual appreciation, a modest cash flow. Let amortization work for you, and take advantage of the tax benefits. Okay, you could see a 15 to 20% ROI just in 1 year, Yanni. That's crazy. That's more than double the return of the stock market on average. Okay. Then rinse and repeat, baby.
So no Palantir and no Pacers Game 3 money line. Understood.
Oilers tonight. Oilers.
Oilers? Okay, you know what? We got hockey fans. All right, guys. You have this is your last chance before I read these scores because we're about to get eliminated. So any other final thoughts on the real estate market? Ready? All right. I'm going to read these scores. Here we go.
Today.
Aaron with 31. Sam Carchidi with 27. And the leader, Cristian Barajas, with 37 points. So, Sam, I hate to say it, you are the first eliminated on Around the Home, and we appreciate you joining. Any final words?
None. Appreciate you having me.
Damn. Well,
go.
Stay.
God bless
listen.
you, Sam.
All righty,
It's been
guys.
great having you.
Sam Carchidi Real Estate.
If you guys could see the elimination sticker, you would really be proud. All right. We're into the final showdown. 3 questions left. Question number 1, Chris versus Aaron. Whoever wins gets their time to shine and talk about what they want. Here we go. Number 7. Are cash buyers unfairly distorting the market? Any takers? No?
Sam, you're out, buddy. You know, keep it down over there. Are cash buyers unfairly distorting the market? I gotta ask more of what that means, but
all right, well, you know what? Chris will take it for you.
Look, I'm gonna say it depends on who you ask. Okay, cash buyers often can help sellers when they're in a situation they need to get out of. Okay, they've got specific goals to themselves, and cash buyers are a big help. Now, cash buyers, can they drive prices up? Right, cash is king. Do we agree? Sure, they can drive prices up. However, I don't think that they're distorting the market, because there's a lot less cash buyers out there than there are traditional financing buyers.
All right, that was a tough first question. I think you guys got more deductions than points on that. So we're gonna dive into number 8. Number 8. What's the biggest
With that question.
misconception buyers have about the loan approval process? We're gonna start off with the mortgage broker here, Aaron.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is when you go onto these mortgage websites, you type in your information, you say how much you make, you got this credit score, and you get a pre-approval letter. And you think, oh, I'm good to go, and that is 100% not the case. You really want to talk to a local lender, get pre-approved correctly for someone that's been in the business. Local knowledge is extremely key, and you want to have them take you through the underwriting process, because just having a simple pre-approval letter is not going to cut it in today's market. You want to actually feel comfortable, submit your documents, and have a good backing with a local lender.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, unfortunately, some of these websites have definitely misled consumers in our market, and it's a real shame. You really do need to speak with a local lender, such as Aaron Hartman, somebody that you trust, someone that has your best interest in mind, right? And there's many parts of the equation when it comes to loan approval. Okay, folks, pay down your debt, save up as much money as you can, build a strong employment history, and for the love of God, don't buy a car the day before closing.
Couldn't have said that any better, Chris. Couldn't have said that any better.
Chris, I like
Yeah,
Go ahead, Aaron. No, sorry.
I mean, we pick up a lot of loans from these national lenders that just don't do the upfront legwork. So just be careful of those big names.
Definitely. And you know what? A lot of buyers out there, they don't understand that lenders are even out there, right? They just think, I'll go to the bank and get a home loan. Man, let me tell you right now, from a personal experience, you're in much better hands going with a lender who you can get a hold of outside of regular business hours. You've got their personal cell. If you want to call your bank because you have a question about buying a home at 5:01 p.m. on a Friday, good luck getting a hold of them until Monday morning.
Yep.
Love it. Love it. All right, guys, we're at the last and final question, and we do have a close match. Before we get to the final one, Chris, you're at 44. Aaron, you're at 37. Want to plug anything before we dive in, or no?
Just appreciate you having me on. You guys have been great.
Yanni, you put a lot of work into this. I really appreciate it. And then Sam and Aaron, wouldn't want to go up against anybody else for our first session.
All right, final question. How are elevated mortgage rates reshaping the housing market, and who's winning or losing? Chris, you want to start us off on the final one?
Yeah, I'll take it. So today's rates are forcing an equilibrium that our housing market needed, in my opinion. Okay, who's winning? In my market down here in San Antonio, which is what I can speak to, the big-time new construction builders are staying ahead by offering attractive in-house rates, right? They're offering closing cost incentives, brand new appliance packages, builder warranties, things like that. So who's losing? Well, sellers with little to no equity, they're just getting hammered because they don't have any flexibility. So, if I'm a buyer, why would I go down the street to buy a pre-existing home at 6.75% when I can go to the builder and buy a brand new home that's never been lived in with all of these bells and whistles at 4.5%, right? So there's pros and cons to both when considering today's rates. But overall, we've really come to balance out. We're at least down here, we're in a very neutral market, and a neutral market is a market that I want to do business in.
Aaron, anything to follow up?
Yeah. Totally two different markets we're all operating in. Chris out in San Antonio, Sam and I back in New Jersey and Pennsylvania here. I'd say that it's an inventory issue it's creating still with everyone who's kind of locked in with those low interest rates. So the demand for a good house is still very prevalent here. And we're seeing homeowners with good homes that are put on the market in most counties, at least in New Jersey, a good house is still going over asking 30, 40, 50. So it's hurting the first-time home buyers the most right now. So,
Guys, all right. I really appreciate these answers. And can we get a final clap? And if Sam, you can hear us, thank you for joining, and also clap it up. Yep. Now, drum roll. With 46, Cristian Barajas. Did Aaron beat him with 43? No, he did not. So, today's winner is Cristian Barajas.
All right. Confetti. Fireworks. This is great.
You've got a little crown and you've got the mic.
Awesome. So my hot take for the day, we've really beaten up real estate, and that is the whole point of this show. We're going to continue to do that, but I'm going to shift gears for a second. When I'm not helping clients with their real estate dreams or spending time with my smoking hot wife, I spend much of my free time hunting, okay? It's a passion of mine. Politics aside, I want to challenge each and every one of you to go out and thank a hunter today. Here's why. The Pittman-Robertson Act provides funding for wildlife conservation in this great nation. Excise taxes on firearms, ammo, archery equipment, fishing equipment, hunting, and fishing licenses provides the majority of funding for state and federal wildlife restoration. Okay, these initiatives for wildlife and wildlands. Without revenue generated from hunters and fishermen, our wildlife landscape would look pretty bleak. Okay, if you like to look, regardless of your political or dietary ideology, if you enjoy bird watching, hiking, camping, canoeing, trail running, rock climbing, wildlife photography, anything outdoors that's not hunting or fishing, I challenge you, go thank a hunter for their wildlife protection efforts, because without hunters, the North American model of wildlife conservation would not exist.
Chris,
That's fine. Just thank a hunter on your way
well
out.
Said, Chris. Well said, Chris. And thank you, Chris.
Yes, everyone clap it up. Thank you all for participating. Chris, the first time and maybe only time champion, but we hope to run this back. But thank you for participating and telling the YouTube world about the real estate market. Guys, on that note, we're heading out. Peace and love. Go Oilers. Here we go. Peace and love.
Step right up, the show's begun.